All right, y'all. You know what time it is. It's Tuesday. You know what I do on Tuesday. Here we are. I'm Brian Forbes, and you are tuned in to Inside Steppin. Y'all know how we roll. So look at here, everybody. Let me just start out by saying tonight we have a couple of very interesting guests, and we are going to discuss some things that, you know, a few people might like, a few people might not like, but it's okay, because what we're going to do, if we don't do nothing else, is we're going to have fun with it, and we're going to talk about what's real out here. Who was a comedian that said that? He said, well, we're going to talk about what's real. Can we talk about what's real? We're going to talk about what's real today, y'all. We're going to get into it, and we're going to find out, you know, what it's like to be a competitor in these competitions, in the world's largest, in now the new Texas Heat. But before I get into that, y'all, let me go ahead and kick this show off right quick. Y'all know I'm always doing this stuff by myself, but you know, hold tight. Let me put the intro up, and then we're going to talk about it. All right. So look, y'all, it has been a incredibly busy couple of weeks around here. We've had some very distinguished guests come through San Antonio, and I'm proud to say I have had a fantastic time hanging out with these people, man. Reggie Miles was by here a couple of weeks ago, and we got it in. We kicked it real hard. Then we had Eric Gordon was here this weekend. Oh man. Maurice Thomas was here last weekend. And man, when I tell you we've had a ball, and we have had a tremendous amount of fun. We have partied and hung out. We've been at the Diva Ranch here in San Antonio, the home for wayward steppers. And boy, let me tell you, y'all, you want to get some relaxation and some hanging out, y'all come there. But just know, before you go to the Diva Ranch, I'm just going to put this disclaimer and this warning out there. Nobody gets out sober. I'm just saying. And if you don't believe me, ask Eric, Maurice, or Reggie Miles. I'm just saying. But anyway, I digress. So look, y'all, we have had, like I said, a busy last few weeks. And just to put it out there, I'm going to talk about it some more later on. For those of you who are local and those of you who are not, November 6th, right here in San Antonio, we are having the Queen, my wife, Poppy Forbes, birthday party. Man, we have had an overwhelming response from everywhere in the state. It's going to be turned up in San Antonio on the 6th. It is a day set. It is from 1 to 6. My man, the Nike Experience will be in the building. They will be doing a workshop between 11 and 1 at $20 a head. It's going to be fantastic. I'm talking about, man, we got people coming in from everywhere. You'd think we was giving a big old party. I mean, man, I'm shocked. We got people coming in from everywhere, man, all over the country. And I'm very happy to say, I want to just put this out there right off the top, man. Look, I love y'all. Real talk, man. The amount of love that my wife and I get shown in this community is tremendous to me. And I don't have enough words to express, you know, the love that we get shown. So, you know, we're going to continue to try and build this community as much as possible, and we're going to continue to try to unify as many people as we can. And let me just right quick put this out there. My man Coach Cheese down in Houston, happy birthday to him. We spent this weekend, we kicked it down in Houston for his birthday party. We had a absolutely fantastic time. And this is what it's all about. It's about us all coming together, man. And you know, when you get past all the politics and all the crazy stuff that goes on in Steppin, at the end of the day, we got to get back to the fun, man. And that's something that I think is sorely missed in some communities. And we just have to, you know, we got to return to that. That's what's happening. Shouts out to everybody on the live. Y'all don't forget to share the live. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, because that's very important. Y'all want to continue to see me be able to do this, I got to have my support. I need my people. Y'all got to hit them like buttons, hit them subscribe buttons, because then, you know, it allows me to try and make a little change do something strange for a little change, pay for some of this stuff. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to y'all tonight and a cool, smooth brother who is one of those people who is rooted in this dance like many that I've known, and his wonderful wife. I don't even have enough words to describe personally what I think about them. Great people, fantastic people. So let's just bring them on. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Kirk and Bridgett White, the Drops. Hey y'all, how you doing today?
Hey, how are you?
Uh-oh. Do we have you? Do we have your sound? Wait a minute, hold on. Let's see. Are y'all there?
Yes, yes.
Okay, got you.
Okay,
Before I get too far off into this, I got a quick question. How did y'all get the nickname the Drops? It hit me in the head the other day. I was like, the Drop? Where'd that come from?
I started calling him Chocolate Drop, my Chocolate Drop.
Okay.
He just started calling me his vanilla. He had to come back with something, so he started.
he had to match you, huh? Okay, all right. I like that. Hey, but that's a good thing because it just shows the unity, man, and that's a beautiful thing. And it's really what I think is fantastic that even though we have a beautiful dance community, I think it's really good when we have the couples like yourselves and we have the people that are participatory as couples, because there are a lot of people in this dance who literally they have spouses but they don't participate in the dance. I've seen quite a bit of that, but it's always good when you see two people that are that have this lifestyle, this culture in common. I think it's a beautiful thing. So you guys have had a very good year dance wise, am I correct?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Y'all been around here doing damage, man. What you got? What was that? Now help me with the categories. Y'all at World's Largest, y'all did, was it second?
Yes.
Second in new school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, second in new school at the World's Largest, and then y'all turned around and came to the brand new Texas Heat, where Nike put on a fantastic event, and y'all got first over there, right?
Yeah, first and second. Second in walking and first.
Right. Okay, yeah, I forgot about that part. Y'all got first, and man, y'all killing the game, man. Y'all, I think y'all are the most decorated for the year, I would have to say. Wouldn't that be about? That's pretty close, huh?
No, Drew one got the bank in Chicago.
Yeah, I guess you're right, because Drew did go and do his thing with the Masters. He put it down. I got to give it to him. He did a fantastic job. And then he turned around and they did the Titan category at Texas Heat, and they tied for first. Imagine that. I ain't gonna say nothing about that, but anyway, listen, y'all, something I noticed about you two that maybe, just maybe, other people might want to know about or be interested in as well. When you two dance, you have, in my opinion, I don't want to say gotten away from traditional dance, because your dance is traditional, but you all have gotten quite theatrical. I like that. I think it adds an extra flair to the dance. Is that, whose idea was that?
Well, here's the thing. I started out with a lot of that you're saying, theatrical dancing and stuff, and then it faded away because it was when we first come out in '07, we doing drops and dips and all that. Well, people got tired of all that, so then.
So that was previous.
That was previous before I got with her,
Okay.
and I tried to bring it with her, and it wasn't working as good as it was back then because it was old news. So,
Okay.
I'm thinking about it. She told me this year, she said, well, if we're going to do it this year, it's going to be my way. And from that,
Mama put her foot down, huh?
say the rest. Somebody else say the rest.
She put a high heel on you.
So just basically, how we came up with different dances this year, because overall I like to dance. Period. Forget steps. I like to dance. I come from a family that moves the living room table out of the middle of the floor, and we just dance. You know. And so because I've gotten in the contest with Kirk like 3 other times previously.
Okay.
And what he wanted me to do was not me. I wasn't feeling it. You know, if
Too conservative? Was it too conservative for you?
No, it was just
It was more or less, I could say, robotic. Like, it's not really just, it's choreographing the dance, the whole dance. And she wants to let loose and do her thing. So,
because the thing is, like, when you're dancing, I feel the music, I listen to the words, like, the sounds. That makes me move. A sound, a particular, I don't know, it could be a drum beat or something, would make me do something. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? I'm actually glad you said that, because during this discussion, we're going to definitely talk about some of the things that are happening in Steppin, and we want to talk about, I specifically want to get with Kirk on some of the things that, from the past moving forward. But before I go there, y'all call yourselves the Drops, but I'm gonna just tell you, I got a new nickname for you, Bridgett. I'm gonna start calling you Bridgett with the good knees, cause you be getting down on that flow, man. Look, the rest of us, that's somebody had to come pick us up, man. We getting too old for that. You Bridgett with the good knees. That's your new nickname. So, so look, y'all, and I'm saying this because to add to what you just said, the other part. You were talking about the robotic nature of the dance that you all had been doing, and the fact that so many things have been done in the past. Let's talk about, or give me some idea, especially from you, Kirk, when we talked about, because you and I we've had some pretty good conversations about some of the stuff from back in the day. And give me some background or some overview about your journey in Steppin and moving forward where we are today. Just, kind of give us an idea where you started.
Well, I started, and didn't even know I started, with God's grace and mercy more than anything. He gave me that from where I've been and where I'm at today. And that, I started going to Steppin sets and, back in the 70s and stuff like that. And, when I was going, I was like 14, 15 years old. I was going for a purpose. It wasn't for Steppin, none of that. I saw those things, but I didn't do that. I had to do something else because of my age, so I'm not really going all the way there, but, we had to do our thing because, I was under game. And I had to do my part of the game,
Right.
So doing that, I had to hold my position and do that. So I saw a lot of people didn't see me, didn't recognize me because I snuck in those parties and I was ready to do what I had to do. But after I turned like 17 and I started, we got our little cars and stuff, so we started riding to the King's Club because I moved out to the suburbs, which was Maywood. And
West Side.
Cicero come out there when we have events out there, and we do the same and go back home and do it at King's. And I grew up, it was grimy. A lot of these people, it's like they tell you about the past, but in my line of growing up in this area of the past, it wasn't nothing I liked because it was always some type of confusion after the party, near the end of the party, or whatever. We had problems, or we had to do. So, I don't want, honestly, I was a game banger. So, instead of beating around the bush, I had to carry the little thing because I was able to carry that and able to kill or whatever and get away with it.
Right.
That's what it was. But after the years passed, things grew up where I didn't have to carry it, but I had somebody else, take my place and do what I was being done to. So we went that route, and then
You didn't kill nobody.
no, I didn't kill nobody, but we were shooting back and forth. Back then, we were shooting, but we wasn't shooting. And as we grow older, like at 17, I was a fanatic over guns and 22 rifles and just it was like a woman to me. You shoot the thing, you feel it really going so smooth, and it's like a joyful feeling to me back then, because that's all I had to look forward to in life. I was out there in the street.
Now, well, the thing about that is that, and this is one of the points that I've been kind of stressing to some of the people that come from outside of the culture of Chicago and the Steppin community. And it's not to beat a dead horse, but I have, and the thing about you bringing that up is that I've had to express to people in the past that what they don't understand is that this dance really was a secondary part of Chicago lifestyle. It wasn't the thing like, we have people who literally get up and they live for this dance every day now, and that's fine. But that wasn't really the way things were then. And even though, because the thing about steppers is that everybody has a story. Everybody has their side of the game. Everybody remembers a certain part of it, and there were parts that brought us all together. But ultimately, there are people who, and you and I were discussing this earlier, and I want you to touch on this. There are people around Steppin today who are not as respectful as they probably should be about the culture and the things that go on in the dance. And you made a very good point, and I want you to talk about this, about why it's that way now, why things have changed, and why we are watching the sort of an evolution take place. I almost hate to use that word, but things, people tend to get a little loose with their conversations and their words, and not understanding the dues that got paid by people like yourself coming up through the game.
Well, what's happening is, when I came up, I was just like, and I was game banging all that, but I had respect to listen to the older generation and give me that wisdom. So, in saying that, what we do now I'm taking his place, who was giving me wisdom, and I'm trying to push it down to the next generation and give them wisdom. And they got all ears, they ready to hear it, but all they hear from older people is a lot of negativity and a lot of, wick-wack stuff. It don't make sense. And back then, when we was dancing, we was, in our 20s, teens, all the way up to our 30s and 40s, we really never went to a grown-up set, like they're doing now. Nowadays, they got, you got your 30-year-olds, your 20-year-olds, you got them in there, you got your 40, you got all ages in there. You even got some teenagers in there. Every now and then you throw one in there. We couldn't do that back then. Now, our mother, we can go in there and get keys or some money, but we got to get up out of there. They may let you do one little dance, but you got to go. It wasn't played like that. And we didn't worry about them anymore, and they didn't worry about what we're doing. And nowadays, you got grown-ups worried about what a person called his set, or what a person do, or what we was doing back then. What things do is change. It evolves. Everything evolves. It's just like the jitterbug. The jitterbug was around, but it evolved into the bop. Then the bop it had evolved. You got a few people that still was back there doing it, but once they pass and gone, that's going to evolve into just stepping. And people want this thing to stay, this thing they got called stepping and walking. If they want that to last, they have to show wisdom to these kids. If you want walking to last, you have to get your butt up and start doing some free walking workshops to, and get yourself out there and get that out there in the atmosphere, because we did that stuff for stepping. You know, and it was not me in general, but you know, the Tina Moores and all them, they did the going out of town, the Peace Raising them, they went out of town, and they taught people. The same thing you got to do with walking, because walking pretty much started going off the chain where it wasn't any more walking. Really was Steppin, because when Steppin had started their little event, they had walking classes. It was packed, over 200 people there. You know, so that was ground for people to understand and to know what walking is. But nowadays, it's like people talk about it, but they never do anything about it. If you won't walk in the state, get out there, do some work like we did work, and get this Steppin going. You know.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Now, I've been on the fence about this topic for quite a while, and I kind of came off the fence, but now I think I'm back on it. And Bridgett, I want you to help me out with this. Mm-hmm. I want both of y'all to help me out, but I want you to help me out. Now, knowing the evolution of this dance, and when I say evolution, I'm talking all the way back from the time when I remember it being the bop, okay? When I first started dancing, I was 11 years old. I learned to bop. It transitioned into stepping. Now, although we all know that the bop, stepping, walking, what we know now as stepping, because I don't like to use the new school, old school, because it creates too much division, and those are dance categories and not a dance.
Exactly.
Knowing that these dances are all the same, yet they've been given multiple names. My question is, since we watched we witnessed the transition from bop to what the phrase was coined by the godfather of stepping, to be stepping rather than bopping. And that portion of the dance was, I don't want to say rejected, but it wasn't as quickly embraced by boppers. And you still have boppers who will tell you they're not steppers, they're boppers. Mm-hmm. Do you think that where we're headed today, based on people using the 8 count as a foundation for the dance, that it should be given a different name now from the time of the style of stepping that we did from the 70s to the 90s, based on where we're headed or where this thing looks like it's going? Now, do you think I'm off base? Do you think it should be renamed? Or do you think that, because you can't force people to respect something, and that's right, unfortunate, but it's more like what you were saying about the young people coming into it. They sometimes, they want to try and reinvent the wheel. And our generation are the boppers of the past versus coming into the stepping, where we're the steppers and it's going into what? So help me out with that.
Here you go.
The name should change.
Well, here's the thing.
The name, I agree with you, Bridgett. The name should change. But keep going.
It should not.
It should not change. Okay.
What would we call it?
Here's the thing, Brian. This is the thing. Stepping is going to always be called stepping. The new school stuff, people just took it the wrong way when they got into competition. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that, just because you started yesterday, you're a new schooler. No, that don't mean that. You're a stepper, because if you go anywhere, the only thing gonna come out your mouth, I might be new school, but you new school what? Stepper.
Right.
Stepper gonna always come out, and it's gonna always be known that that's the foundation right there. You stepping. Now, eventually they may change the name to something else, but that's really like after the younger generations, when their young generation comes, then it may change. It's not gonna change no time soon, because it's still called stepping. Maybe it's new school stepping, it's stepping. It's still stepping. No matter what kind of party you have, it's still a stepping party. So it's never gonna change.
But let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
So say if a 30-year-old learns how to start taking stepping classes tomorrow.
Right.
Next 30 days. Mm-hmm. Are you going to consider them a new school stepper?
I will consider them to be whatever. First of all, that's going to go back to whoever instructing them. And I'm saying that only because, see, here's the thing. I know that no matter what you call yourself, the dance is the same.
Yeah.
See, we get hung up on these titles.
Right.
Now,
well, see, wait, let me finish. Part two, because I started out with a 30-year-old, but say if a 75-year-old came to the same class with the 30-year-old, you won't call the 65-year-old a new school Steppin?
Right.
They don't move the same.
Well, the thing is, the only thing that's new are the people, not the dance.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
So therefore, like I say, the new school is just something that people don't pay no attention to. I mean, the real steppers don't pay no attention to that, because if you're a stepper, you're a stepper. Because you know, Brian, back when we were young, and we'll go to a party that's not a stepping party, and they'll turn around and play a stepping record. Well, people get out there and do what they do, and they call that stepping. Nobody criticizes them or nothing like that. They let them do what they do. I mean, and they leave up out of there saying they got their step on, you know. I mean, so. But
now here's the other thing too, and I'm glad you brought that up. Most of the time, and this is something that I noticed. I mean, like being, you know, from Chicago, you go to a stepper set, nobody really criticized anybody. People just danced. And matter of fact, didn't nobody say they was going to a stepper set. They just like, we going out to dance. And everybody just kind of knew what it was, especially if you knew what club it was you was going to. And nobody was, oh, he doing that wrong. He didn't do his for it. And, you know, you ain't have all that. So It's like now we've gotten to this place where people are so critical of what's going on. I think it takes away from the fun of the dance. That's why I like watching y'all dance, because y'all dance.
But you know what? It's the person within themselves that constantly wants to be somebody that's recognized in this community. So they keep up a bunch.
Say that part.
They keep up a bunch of garbage. That's the bottom line. They want to do that because why? They know negativity gonna bring them out more. Well, people, oh, that's such and such. You know, when we talking about people and stuff, they don't care as long as they get some kind of name in the stepping community. That's what they're looking for. And it's mostly older people that feel like they're being dropped by the wayside. But, you know, to me, I think the younger generation should make them feel good and just, you know, hey, you look nice, Pops, or man, you look real good. You know, just compliments is all we need to do to each other, because we all in the same thing. We like the same thing. We love the same thing. So let's just enjoy each other, show some love, you know, compliments, all that.
And then another thing, you and I were talking about once upon a time, about people complaining about the music that's being played at parties.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like this. You know, if a particular person is having an upset, you know what kind of music they play. If you don't like it, don't go.
Right. I agree.
Go. That's how I feel about it. Instead of complaining and talking about it, just don't go. Because here's the thing. If you want to eat a steak, you're not going to go to Kentucky Fried Chicken and get no steak. They don't serve steak over there.
That's right. That's right.
You're not going over there. So they ain't playing what you want to hear. Don't go over there.
And don't criticize. Don't criticize. Support what they're doing and stop criticizing. Because
I actually was having a conversation with someone, a very popular individual within the stepping community today, and the topic came up. And we both were, I guess, kind of confused. We were trying to understand why some people behave the way that they do in this community. And it's like, why do you have people who seemingly deliberately do divisive things and create turmoil and confusion, and it's so unnecessary? And you it just makes you wonder, you know, why not be able to just go to a set? I'm going to say this. I'm happy that here in Texas, and I'm going to go on and give Texas a pat on the back, we have been really, really, really tying things together all over this state, man. And I'm excited because the people who are trying to make a difference and are trying to make it better, and they're not worried about the money. They're not worried about who knows them and who doesn't know them. And everybody is doing their part, man. Look, Texas is blowing up on the stepper scene. That's all I'm going to say that right there. Y'all heard it here first. Watch out for Texas. We coming.
It's about unity. When you come together, it's strength in numbers. So
it's working.
You know, the main thing that you're saying out your mouth is that San Antonio is showing a lot of love to each other, and it's spreading outside of San Antonio. And that's what we need to do in every community. It is. We need to just embrace the love that we have to each other. I mean, because it's a lot of love that's being hidden because you got so many people that want to be recognized.
But man, and also remember that anytime you're always doing something positive or good or correct or whatever, the devil goes to church.
The devil busy.
He goes to church too. So.
Well, you're right. And that's the whole thing about it. I have been, and like many, I've lived in a few different places, and I watched different cities go through growing pains. And when you're outside of Chicago, the dynamic is a little bit different because you have people who have a whole different understanding. And somebody, matter of fact, doggone it, who was I talking to recently? And they made a statement to me that I have to 100% agree with. And the statement was basically that if you're not from Chicago, there's a certain understanding, a certain cultural awareness that's just built into us, into our DNA, that you're just not going to have. With that, we still have the ability, though, to share what we know and what we have with others outside the community, outside of Chicago and other communities. And I think that it would serve many of these communities very well to pay attention to some of that if they're going to maintain what we understand as Steppin and the culture of this dance. Because I know people who literally think they got this whole thing down and they've never even been to the city. And that perplexes me. I just don't, I'm like, you need to go take a visit and see how things operate and then come back and try that,
And there's also, I've gone to, for instance, he had to do a workshop out of town, and I would say it's probably 100 steppers, but then you try to have different groups and everybody trying to be mad at each other. So now you got 20 people over here, 10 over here, and 40 over here.
Right.
That's to me. That is crazy.
And that's crazy. But that's,
And come together and have one big nice set.
Right, exactly. And I've seen that happen too. I've seen cities, they got 100 steppers and they got 15 different groups. Like, really? And
right.
and what would it hurt for them to all come together and put one event together that would just make the rest of the country go, man, that was nice, So yeah, I agree with you 100%.
One more thing, in saying that though, when you have these out of towners teach, even if they don't teach like they're supposed to teach, at least they're reaching somebody.
Oh man, I agree with that 100%.
Today they don't come to Chicago.
Yeah.
That's when they'll learn the real deal. Everybody, it takes its toll on everybody. Well, it takes time. Some people, just like some people get stepping faster than others. It takes time.
Yeah. Well, I definitely agree with that part because we are fortunate enough to have people in this city and around Texas who are not acclimated to Chicago and everything, but they do so much hard work and they do so much tireless, undying work for people in this community, right, wrong, or indifferent. And in fact, I just told a couple of people the other night, I said, look, in some places, this dance is on life support and y'all are a breathing machine. Keep doing what you're doing. If don't nobody else appreciate it, I do, because I know that no matter what, it's still growing the dance. It's still bringing people into this community and helping to build on it. And we need more of that. We need more unity. We need more people who care more about this dance than they do their own egos, their own attitudes, their own self, absorbed ideas about who they think they are in the dance and all that. Man, look, y'all, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think we all about the same age. And I've gotten to a point where it's so much stuff I just don't care about no more. I mean,
Yeah.
But the thing is, we got to dance.
I'm with you on that, Brian.
We got to dance, go to a party, go to an event, and let it go. That's it. That's what we used to do. We used to go to a party. You never heard in the 70s, you never heard nobody talk about a competition for a whole year.
No, yeah, you're right. Look, it was over with when you left the room.
You never heard nobody talk about a party for over 2 weeks.
Right. You're right.
There was too many other parties going on the following week. So it's just a bunch of immature people that want some attention. They want some attention. That's it. And you know,
one of the things that I've said recently, and I'll continue to say, and I've told people, you know, don't be one of those people. Every time your name come up, ain't nothing good said, because I've seen that. But now, on a lighter note, y'all, let's talk about y'all's fashions. Let's talk about y'all's gear. Let's talk about that hat you had on, mister. Let's talk about that fly stuff. So what's up, man? You getting your gear cut these days, man? You know, you headed to the tailor, man. What's happening? Y'all getting made? What's up?
But the hat, so he wasn't into hats. But I like them. So I asked him if he said no. But I bought them anyway.
There you go. Hey, look, let me throw this out there. There's a guy on the West Coast. And guess what his name is? Brian Forbes. This dude is a badass hat maker.
Yeah, I heard about him.
Listen to me. He cutting me up some pieces now. I'm doing some jewelry for him. He doing me some. Listen, let me tell you something. That boy cold. Y'all better check Brian Forbes out on the West Coast out there in Cali cutting them hats, man. He doing the damn thing. Right. And I don't care what kind it is. He doing everything from straw to beaver. He ain't playing no games. He got them for you, for sure. So what's y'all's plans for this year, for 2022? Y'all going world's largest, Texas Heat? What we got?
I think we just going to support, you know, because it's not a every year thing for us. We just enjoy ourselves. At least she may want to get into it, but I'm going to just support her and what she do. But I'm going to lay back. I'm a little bit just want to watch
now,
it.
hold on. See, here go the problem with what you're saying right now.
Yeah.
When you the king of the hill, you can't retire. You got to let somebody knock you off the hill.
I'm not retiring at all.
But you saying you talking about you ain't gonna look, man. You gotta make somebody. You gotta give somebody something to shoot for. If they gotta beat the best, you gotta come back, man. You can't go sit down. I'm not gonna let you go sit down. I'm gonna chase you down, mister.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna just chill for this.
Oh man, come on.
But you know
How the next person that come up gonna call themselves the best if they ain't beat the best?
But he said that every year that he's gonna chill, but then.
Oh, okay. All right, I got it. I see how he is. Okay.
I'm like, I thought you said we weren't gonna do it. You didn't want to do it. I think you're gonna do it. So don't pay attention to that.
Brian, you know this much for sure. Since you come back from the old days, steppers come back in the days.
Right.
We take a step back. We take a step back. Now
and take a step at a time too.
I'm coming for you, though.
We take a step out. Let me say,
I'm coming for him.
Lindy, I understand, man. I understand, but you know, get your chance when I come back.
I'm gonna tell Nike what you said. We gonna you know, Nike gonna jump on your back and ride you. He gonna be like, you got to come back, man. You can't get off. You ain't gonna let you off the hook that easy.
The only way if it's not that many contestants, then I will come because I want to keep this going. I want to support it. But if you got enough contestants, I want to enjoy it.
More people want to come next year.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying.
I guarantee you, Texas Heat is going to have a lot of new participants.
Yeah.
One of the things that I enjoyed about that event is that we did get an opportunity to see people we haven't seen before. We got an opportunity to see a lot of new faces, a lot of new blood. And I believe that Texas Heat will probably not have the intimidation factor that maybe World's Largest does. And that is going to open the door, the floodgates, actually, I think, for a lot of contestants. And I think that is going to be yet another fantastic event. I think it's going to be even better than it was this year, if that's even possible.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, you know, now the Texas Heat, I might go, but I hate it.
I'm not doing it.
No, because I didn't want to dance with Lenny on the stage, but Lenny, I'm sorry, man. You gonna have to catch me later down the road, man.
Yeah, man. You know, Lindy out for the Lindy looking for the crown, man. You know, he want to take it from you. He don't want you to hand it to him.
The shark right now, so I'm gonna leave that shark alone.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Lindy a bad dude too. Now he ain't nothing to play with. Look.
And his wife, if you should have saw that little thing they did at Donnie's class. Oh, Lindy was clowning.
Really?
It was totally different than the real artist. He was, man, I like that. I mean, that boy's good. That boy's good.
Oh well, he's definitely coming. You know, he been paying his dues. He's definitely coming.
Like you chasing me, I'm chasing Jody again.
Yeah, right. Hey. Well, you got to stay in the game to get him now. You can't win the race if you ain't in it. Nah. You know, you can't, how they say when you play the lottery, you can't win if you don't play, baby. For sure. Well, look at here, man. I do appreciate you all for taking the time and the energy to spend it with me and this show and like hang out with us. Look, Lindy is on the line. He said he appreciated it. See, he watching you, dog. He already know. He said he ready to cut your head already.
They shot on the phone.
Lindy ready to bite me. That's what you ready to do.
Yeah, Lindy said, that's all right. I'll catch you in the street.
You will catch him, because 663's not running that fast.
Yeah, that's funny. See there? Yeah, you can't hand over the crown, baby. Don't you know power is never given, it's only taken?
Yeah. When he had me thinking about him all in the world lodges. I'm like, man, and he right after me or before? Right after me. And I'm like,
yeah, and he put on a hell of a show too. Yeah. So he definitely coming for your head, man.
Got away from this year, huh?
Yeah, Lindy, let me just say straight to your face, Lindy, we looking for you, brother. Represent Texas. You've been doing a hell of a job. We've been watching. We see you coming, bro. We see you. We watching. We see you. It's time to come cut Kirk's head off. What you waiting on? Come on. Look, I'm going to put the cables on you. I'm going to be like Don King around here, Jack. Look, I'm the promoter. I'm finna promote these fights. We got to have this, make this thing do what it do. You dig? Because to be honest with you, man, the way I feel about this whole competitive side of this dance is that for as many so-called instructors as there are in these United States, there should be a lot more participants. These instructors should be wanting for their students to show the ability of those instructors to produce quality dancers that are on a level that are competitive, that they can actually get out here and say, hey, look, so-and-so trained me, and let me show you what I got. There should be way more people participating in these events. We had a guy from here participate, and I don't have a lot to say about it, only because it was like so sudden and so shocking. He could have done a lot better had he gotten some better information. However, I told him, because I believe in the positivity of this dance, I said, well, I'm going to say this much. You have one up on a whole lot of people, no matter what your performance was like, because there's not a lot of people who will take the strength, the energy, and the fearlessness to get their ass on that stage and go around that floor. I said, so no matter what happened, brother, you already won up on a whole lot of people. So at the end of the day, I expect he'll be back next year with a much better performance. And I expect that, he's taking it damn seriously. Then we're going to see a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of that next year. And I would love to see more people participate.
Right. Here's the thing. They coming out the woodworks, man. And to the guy you were just talking about, I guess he's more comfortable with his dance now. And that's getting on that stage. When you get on that stage, you just what it does to steppers, and steppers don't realize it. It takes the shyness away from you, and put the cockiness in you, and that's
More
what
confidence, yeah.
the more confident with cockiness too, because some people get overconfident, they get cocky because it's competing.
Now there's some of that too.
Yeah, you're competing though, so you can't say it's bad because it's good for competing. It's just like me and Lenny playing around, but when we get on that stage, we business, you know.
That's right.
That's right. I know you got me, and I'm gonna keep my track shoes on.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Now you know, and I'm glad you said that too, because that, you know, and this dance is only a small portion of humanity. Because human nature is going to always dictate that people behave in particular ways. And I really, really wish we had more people who could be in this dance and do what you just said and be a part of those competitions and not come away with the big head and not come away thinking that they done reinvented the wheel. Enjoy the dance, do the best you can, be happy with your performance, and move forward and let that experience grow you, you know. I just wish humanity itself had more humility. That would be such a beautiful thing. And in this dance in particular, it would be phenomenal.
Right. You know, what I pray for is that when people throw these competitions, I don't care who it is, when they throw these competitions, they're doing a lot that they don't have to do.
Right.
You can see J-Mo doing his thing, P. Frazier doing his thing, Nike doing his thing, out there in Milwaukee, they doing their thing. Everybody do prelims is doing their thing, and you gotta reward them for that because they're helping keeping this dance go, and they're helping us all to build our own platform and see a lot of people.
I do think that we all take them for granted. I really do, and I think we should stop that. I think we should. You know, if you really think about it, I'm glad you brought that up because that's something, you know, you're adding so much perspective to this conversation. I'm going to tell you something. When you think about the people who actually promote good events, quality events, not just promote an event, because I'm going to just put it out. Some of this shit is garbage. I'm going to just say that. Yeah, but when you promote a quality event, if you think about it, you can't really even count on your hands and toes the people who actually do that. But we just automatically assume that right off the top, it's going to be a Steppin event to go to. Yeah, there is. Mm-hmm. But do you understand the amount of work, the energy, the money, the sleepless nights that some of these people go through to provide entertainment for the rest of us? That's work, man. Don't get it twisted. It's work for me to do this right here. Some days I'll be like, man, I ain't doing this shit no more. But I do it because I love to dance and because I want to make sure that people get the right information. Mm-hmm. And that same love these people have when they promote these events. Right. And I think we owe them, you know, some debt of gratitude because without them, where do we go? Where do we fellowship? Where do we get together to dance and enjoy this music?
Right.
Besides,
And another thing, you would think that with the pandemic, and we were shut down for a year and a freaking half. You know, we couldn't do anything, couldn't go anywhere. And then you come out now and you still acting crazy. Some people, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that didn't even humble you.
Well, you know, the pandemic made some folks act crazy. You know, I mean, let's keep it 100. And this is, you know, I say stuff sometimes but I'm like this. If your toes is sore, maybe you should move your feet. And I've said this before. A lot of people don't understand that. In this dance, without this dance, some of these people don't have no life at all.
No, they don't.
Like, you know, I'm one of those people. I'm blessed to be able to say that if I don't leave my house, I'm perfectly happy and contented here because I've made my living situation comfortable for me. Uh-huh. But you have people who literally cannot and don't want to sit in their own house because they're miserable there. You have people who come out and do this dance because it's the only time that they're happy. You have people who don't have friends, who literally, without the popularity that they have within this dance and the people that they know within this dance, they don't have a life. They're nobody to the rest of the world. They must have this dance in order to survive.
Yeah.
So I get it, but I just, you know, I just wish we had more humility in it. I really do.
Because you can take a look at the platform that And I say this because a lot of people had a little comments they say about Pete Frazier with the real largest, but in reality, right today, do you know about how much money he done gave out since he's been doing that? Over $250,000.
Yeah.
He gave out, you know, and the thing of it is, it's a headache. It's upsetting. You know, I've even, you know, learned from him because I've, you know, yeah, true enough, I got off that stage and I felt like I was cheating and all that too.
Hey, that's natural. That's natural.
Yeah, it comes to reality and realizing that, you know, when I win, I look at it like this here. They didn't have to pick me this time. They could, you know, they could have said something was wrong, the clothes we was wearing, anything, you know. So at the end of the day, when you lose, I look at it a whole nother way that, you know, I'm very grateful to just be a part of it, to participate in it. You go to Steppin, he didn't give away I don't know how much money just by letting people in the party free. Yeah, he gets about $20 off a room, but is that really enough for him to event? No, because he got to put money out before the event even starts. You know, so a lot of people
well, you always gonna have them Monday morning quarterbacks in anything that goes on, and those are the people that sit back on their couch and talk about what somebody should have did and how this wasn't right and that and the other, and they ain't got no dog in that fight at all. It's easy to be that person, and I'll tell anybody, you know, until you walk in that man's shoes, you should probably not have too much to say. You know, it's always the ones who ain't got nothing in it. And they ain't lost nothing. They ain't put nothing in. They got something to say. Don't say nothing till you done contributed to these causes. I agree with that. Yeah.
I contributed because I gave events, and they was breast cancer events. I did it for 5 years. I paid people. I had a little competition.
That's right.
A student structure competition.
Listen, y'all two give just by being who you are. You know, do you realize that, like, the fact that people like yourselves, and this is kudos to y'all and people who are just like y'all, you have, just by y'all's participation, you have other people who see y'all as a couple, who see y'all's dance, that admire you. You give other people something to strive for. You give them something to look forward to. Again, that's part of this whole thing. All of this goes together. It all is intertwined and intermingled. And just being who y'all are, man, makes a huge difference. You know, it gives people something to see. That's a hell of a thing, man. You know, whether y'all realize it or not.
And what you see on the outside is what goes on the inside of this house. Like, you know, we're friends. We laugh and talk. You know, if we do get mad at each other, it don't last. But, you know, I turn around and say, you hungry? You know,
that's part of life.
We are in a clique that we get into, and that's to praise Jesus. That's our clique.
That's part of the game, man. Look, bottom line, look, when you and that's always a good thing, because one thing I can say that even with me and my wife, I mean, we friends. We was friends from the word go. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people look at us and they see us as a couple. And I know for a fact that there are people who watch her and I, and they look at the way we roll and how we do our thing, and it's an inspiration to people. So we try to keep it neat around everybody else. But Lord, look, some folks done seen us get our little bickering session on, and they be nervous like, "Ooh, y'all." No, that's just how we get down, and it's all good. It ain't no, you know, we that's still my partner. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I gotta promote her to get mad, and she'll get mad for about 5 minutes.
You think it's funny? So here's the thing, because with my facial expression, and he cracks up. I've never seen somebody want somebody to yell at him and tell him off. But he does. Brian, he'll set his phone up and he's recording me. And poking me until I snap off, and he just cracks up and he plays it back in his ass like he's watching a movie. It's crazy.
He just put the cables on you. That's all. He got you over there looking for them triggers. He trying to trigger you. That's all. You know.
Funny though.
That's part of the game. But you know, again, these are the things that make all the difference in the world. You got something for me, producer? Look. Here she come now. Look, she gonna come in the room.
Hey. How y'all doing?
Thanks.
I wanted to say something about fashion because y'all always sharp.
We talked about fashion.
Okay, I missed it. I was at work.
Okay, all right, yeah. We got on that a little bit, you know. Okay. You know, she loved the fashion side of the game.
We talked about it. I love the shop. I'm a shopaholic.
Me too. Love it.
Yeah, so basically, man, like I said, y'all keep doing what y'all doing, man. It's a beautiful thing. Everything that we can all contribute, we should, you know, and we should try as hard as we can to just keep this train on the tracks and keep it going down, blowing smoke, man, and make it do what it do. As I was going to say a little while ago, I appreciate you too, man, taking your time out and your energy to hang out with me and have these conversations, because these are the things that we have to document, and these are the things that are going to be historically relevant sometime in the future when it's time for the younger generations as we go away, for them to look back and say, okay, this is how they got down, this is what they did, and this is why it was so great. And and what we leave is our legacy. So
yeah. And I'll say to you.
Whoa, before, and my wife just said, and there's hope for single people, because my wife and I met Steppin, and so did y'all. So now, go ahead, brother.
And just keep in mind, man, Kevin, Brian, the work you do is beautiful for this Steppin community, and I hope that if a youngster come your way and ask you, you know, questions about it, you get them, share the wisdom with them and stuff like that, because a lot of people, you know, they don't want to share what they know or what they've been through or what they're going through, you know. I want to share. And it's about sharing with other people, because if you wanted to stay alive, you know, we got to have some more Brian Ford.
Well, in light of that, I'm gonna tell y'all this, and this ain't no pat on my back, but I'm gonna tell y'all this. Everybody that deals in Steppin media right now today, Denise, the video queen, Stretch, Rudy Dotton, Kevin Neville's even, Latika, the list goes on. All of these people who I have reached out to, Tony Adway, when they call me and they have a technical issue or anything that they're trying to do, they know. And I've sat with them. I've told them what to get, what not to get, what to deal with. Reggie Miles came in my studio and started taking pictures. He was in here like, man, I got to get. Listen, if you notice, over the last year or so, all of the media people been stepping their game up. That's because I be on them. I tell them, look, man, let me tell you what you could do a little bit better. And I'm only doing this because I want everybody to look good. I want everybody's show to look good. I want my show to look better. And I'm on all these people because I want them to come up. I ain't hating on nobody. You understand? Right. I want everybody to look good, because the more we do this, it's room for everybody. That's how I feel about it. It's room for all of us. Right. Margaret Fisher, she doing her thing. You know, it's room for all of us to do what we doing, and somebody gonna love everything that one of us do.
Right. Simple as that. I heard you're gonna be a Steppin gathering. You're gonna have a workshop on technical issues and all that. No, Brian Ford.
Hey, we have put that on the table. That is absolutely a thing. We're definitely discussing that. I'm glad you brought it up. Yes, we're talking about that, and because again, it's something that, you know, there are going to be other people. You know, people that go to these events and everybody's sitting there with their cell phones and everything. You know, there's some creative minds out there, and a lot of these people, they just don't realize they can take it to the next level yet, but they can. They'll be sitting there like, you know what? Why don't I take this and let me give my commentary. Let me say what I think, you know? And I think it's a good thing. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think we could definitely use, you know, as much coverage of these events as possible. I can't be everywhere, you know? Yeah, somebody is everywhere. So there's somebody at all these different events. There's somebody who hits certain events and some people hit the other ones. And I think we can do as much as we can to try and spread this, man. It's a beautiful thing. I'm with you, my man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. You know, and I kind of had a feeling you was moving around helping everybody, man. You that type of person, man.
Man, I'm trying to touch all of them. I'm trying to touch every one of them. I want to see them step their game up, man. I'm looking for them I'm looking for the CNNs of the Steppin world. I want to be able to watch their show and say, oh, that was cold. That was a beautiful, you know what I'm saying? I want to see them do the tributes. I want to see them give the accolades to the people who deserve to be, recognized in the game. I want to see all of that. I want to be able to turn on my YouTube or whatever station and watch these people's shows and listen to what they have to say in the interviews and listen for the profound messages that come from some of the dancers and some of the older heads, the cats that's even older than us that's still in the game that, got something to say that them dropping them gems on us. I want to hear all of that.
Right.
You know how many good conversations have been missed because nobody had a camera on?
Right.
Think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. We almost missed one.
See?
we talking time. That's why we talking now.
My man. And that's exactly it. A lot of good history, a lot of good information gets passed on. And it's better when we have it documented, when we have it and we're able to say, okay, here it is. Oh, remember that time we was all in Houston? Man, let me pull up that video. So-and-so won. Did you see the move he did? Think about it this way. Drew gave tribute to Lil Alfred. He said himself by doing that particular turn that Alfred used to do, which is basically a ballet move. We know Drew studied ballet, but my point is that without the documentation of that move, Drew wasn't able to do that in the world's largest.
And he also did a lot of George Macaroni.
There you go. Exactly. Without the documentation to be able to refer to those moves, you don't have that. Right. But guess what? Now we getting it all. We're locking it down, and that's what's important.
Thanks to you media people, which is the Airways, the teachers, all of them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And if I can do anything, and I'm just going to put it out there, if I can do anything, and I'm saying it publicly, to help anybody that's trying to move in that direction, call me. Hey, listen, I ain't got nothing to hide. I'll show you exactly how I do what I do. I'll show you the ways to get it done. Even if you on a budget, it's a way to do everything.
Oh, yeah.
So
I appreciate that one, man.
That's what it is.
That's good news. That's good news.
So, well, listen. Go ahead. What was you going to say?
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to get some inboxes and calls.
Yeah, probably. Well, let me say this, Drops. The Drops is in the building. Let me say this, man. Again, I appreciate y'all so much. Kirk, we're not gonna let you off the hook. I'm gonna see you next year at the competitions because you gotta defend the crown. You understand me?
No, I gotta go to Drew.
My producer here just said she just made a suggestion that we get y'all to Texas for some walking. So look forward to that. And other than that, man, listen, I appreciate the conversation. I thank y'all. These conversations provide clarity, they provide information, and they provide inspiration. And y'all have given all three. And for that, I thank you. And I want to say, have yourselves a wonderful night. And we look forward to the next conversation the next time we get to chop it up and hang out with y'all.
One more thing before we go.
Go ahead. Say what you got to say, man.
Kirby's going to be celebrating his birthday in Dallas with the Texas boys for the holiday party, Christmas party.
Okay, so y'all gonna be up there for the Christmas party. All right. Well, we may have to put that on our schedule then. Okay, that sounds like a winner. We going as a matter of fact, on November 6th, Poppy's birthday. We'll be celebrating here in San Antonio, and it turns out that half of Texas and part of the country will be here for that party. And then the next day, because her party's on a Saturday, it's a day set from 1 to 6 at Don Adolfo's right here in San Antonio. Nike's workshop, the Nike Experience. He'll be doing that from 11 to 1 here. We're going to leave here, and we're going up to Dallas for their, the first Sunday, and Tracy Lacey's birthday party. So we're gonna be going all over Texas that weekend. So just that's for my people out there that know what's happening. We're gonna be doing that. But yeah, so we're gonna put it on our calendar, man. Christmas in Dallas. Sound like a winner.
Yeah, so it's December 10th, the 10th and 11th weekend.
Christmas in Dallas, whatever. Same shit to me.
25th or 26th. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, listen. Never mind. I ain't gonna get into my holidays in here. Look, my wife makes me. She makes me celebrate these holidays. She called me Scrooge. We got about 3 Christmas trees. She like, I'm putting all my trees up this year. Like, come on, man, really? All the kids done moved out. We empty nesters. Trees. The cats ain't gonna do nothing but climb in them. Come on, man. I got look, my grandcats. I got grandcats. I don't have. They ain't even mine. They belong to my kids. Abandoning their cats at my house. So Anyway, man, look, y'all have a great evening. I love you. Thank you very much for coming in and hanging out with me. I couldn't ask for nothing better, man. This was a beautiful, beautiful interview. Thank you so much.
Are you promoting your shirts or what?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do have my T-shirts, the Inside Steppin' T-shirts for anybody who wants one. I don't have my producer done took off. I would have her bring one in here and show it off. But yeah, we do have the T-shirts. They're $20 each plus shipping. For Inside, baby, grab an Inside Steppin' T-shirt. Look. See, I'm glad you said that. Look, huh? Okay. Yeah, she said, okay, Scrooge. See, I just got we ain't even got through Halloween yet, and I'm Scrooge already. You see how I get treated? This abuse. This is abuse. You can't be abusing me.
I gotta run up and down the damn stairs.
See here, yeah, okay. This is the baseball style, but we got regular tees too. Inside Steppin', y'all. Get yours here. It's a bad shirt, man. I like that. Yeah. Get your Inside Steppin' shirt, $20 each. Y'all just inbox me if you want one, plus shipping, and we get them out to you ASAP. You get regular T-shirt or baseball shirt, and they come in all sizes from small to 5X. And that's it, y'all. Like I said, I thank you all for coming in. I'm gonna go down here and get me. You got my dinner ready? Look. Hey, producer, did you produce my dinner? Look, no. Let me stop acting a fool. Okay, y'all.
He trying to get you.
Look, I'm trying to put that trigger on her like he do you. I'm trying to trigger her right now. She gonna snap in a minute.
Okay.
Stretch say he want a button down. Yeah, Stretch, you always got to be different. I see how you are. Anyway, all right, y'all, we gone. Y'all have a good night, man.
Thank you.
Peace out. All right, y'all. It's been your boy, Brian Forbes. You all know how I do. It's Inside Steppin', and we have had a fantastic conversation with the drops. Kirk and Bridgett, or should I say Bridgett, and Kirk White, and winners in the world's largest new school, second place, and first place winners in new school at Texas Heat, as well as second place walkers at Texas Heat. And he says he gonna chill, but I don't believe he gonna chill. I believe he got to wear the crown until somebody take it from him. So that's what I think. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Inside Steppin', and I have enjoyed you. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for checking out the show. And we're going to have another good show for you next week. But do not forget to tune in tomorrow for the Black Factor. We're going to have a very interesting show, as always, with very informative things that will probably make your hair stand up on the back of your neck. Don't forget to share the lives. Don't forget to hit subscribe and check me out on YouTube. And I want everyone to have yourselves a fantastic evening. I love you. I'm going to eat. Peace out.
You ain't going to eat shit.
You see how you are. You know the mic's still on, right? See how you are?
No dinner.